Yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Hello and good evening to Hollie-Anne Clark. How are you this evening?
I'm good, thank you. Yep, I'm having a nice evening. It's sunny here in Cardiff, so yeah, the sun's come out this evening, so that's good. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. Um, have you always lived in Wales?
No, so originally I'm from Essex, actually, in the southeast of England, and then I moved to London when I was 18 years old, and I lived there for about 7 years, and then I came to Cardiff in 2012 and I went to the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama to do singing, do masters in classical voice. And then I was only supposed to stay for 2 years, and I've been here for 10 years so far. So yeah, I'm sort of an honorary Welsh citizen now. I think that's what you would call me.
That's good. Do you teach other soprano singers to music, to sing?
So yeah, so I do teach as well. That's something else I do as well as singing. I am a freelance teacher too, and I've been doing that for many years. I used to do that as soon as I'd finished university when I was living in London, and I've taught in schools, and I've taught individuals, I've taught young children and adults as well. All different abilities, and really all different styles. I try to encourage people when I'm teaching to find their own voice and their own style. So the fundamentals of singing are all the same, really. And if you learn that, then it's important to find your own sound, I guess.
Have you always been a soprano singer?
Well, I've always been a singer. Um, whether you could say I've always been a soprano, that's maybe that might be up for contention. I started singing when I was at school, as a lot of people do. I used to sing the hymns at school really quite loudly in assembly, and all the teachers and the other children would point me out as being the loud singer. And then I think I sort of developed a love for musical theatre in my teens. And it wasn't until I was doing sort of my A levels at school that I started up singing lessons. And at that point, I was torn between musical theatre singing and classical singing. I had a teacher who was encouraging me with soprano sort of repertoire. And then I went off to university, and I had a teacher there who was specialist in classical singing, and that took me down that road. And whilst I was in London, I joined things like the BBC Symphony Chorus, and did a lot of classical music and classical singing at university as a soprano. And yeah, I mean, my passion for sort of the classical soprano voice sort of grew from then, really.
Um, can you tell me more about your debut album that was released in December?
Yes,
Imagination.
yes. Have you listened to it?
Yes.
Fantastic. Um, so I have, yeah, 9 tracks on there, and there's also a bonus track. I I actually that came about because somebody had sent me an email, and actually, or a few people had sent me emails asking if I was ever going to do an album because they enjoyed my singing, and I thought, you know what, actually, yes, I should do that. I've got so much music and so many songs. So I kind of put together a compilation of classical crossover pieces, really, and musical theatre that would appeal to a lot of people, and a lot of favourite sort of classic timeless songs, including some sort of more contemporary ones as well. But Defying Gravity in there from Wicked as well. And these are all songs that I have enjoyed singing at some point in my life. I wanted to do a mixture of vocal styles, so that's why you can hear some more classically sung pieces, and then Defying Gravity is a little different. You've got Send in the Clowns there, which is a collaboration with the wonderful Leighton Jones. And yeah, so there's completely, different sort of variation on the album, but they're sort of all songs from shows except Oh Holy Night, although that's probably been in a show somewhere. I mean, it's a traditional carol, but I'm sure it's been in a show. But because Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas was from Meet Me in St. Louis, originally sung by Judy Garland. So, and then all the other songs are from shows. But yeah, and I just called it Pure Imagination because obviously the title song was Pure Imagination. I recorded that last year in February, actually. The video of it I've only really recently released, but I actually recorded it for a concert with Classical Crossover magazine based in the States, because I'd won their audience choice competition with the bonus track of Believe, which is on the album. And Believe was a completely separate piece I wanted to do because I actually conduct a children's choir and wanted to do a collaboration with them for Christmas. And we did it as a charity single for a children's hospital. And then that video won this competition, which then spurred me on to record Pure Imagination and then made me think, that could go on an album. And that sort of snowballed then into the album Pure Imagination. So it's been out since the 5th of December. And Pure Imagination, When You Wish Upon a Star, Defying Gravity, and Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas all have videos that accompany them. And they're all available on my YouTube channel to watch as well.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few of them videos. They're quite good.
Yes, my videographer, give him a little plug. Callum Prince is superb. So yeah, you have to find yourself a really good videographer, I think.
Um, have you thought about singing with anybody else of famous singers?
Well, when I used to sing in the BBC Symphony Chorus, I mean, we accompanied a lot of very big sort of operatic singers. Then we performed with Bryn Terfel and Anna Netrebko, Sarah Connolly. These are all sort of opera stars, and we did that in the BBC Proms. But yeah, so those were sort of collaborations when I was in the choir. But as a soloist, I obviously Leighton did the recording with me recently. He was on the Voice in 2016, and I've got a few more collaborations coming up with a few people. So watch this space. There is a concert in September called the Collaborations Concert, again with Classical Crossover magazine. And I'm doing a duet with a fantastic singer who I did an interview with before Christmas, Hannah Magnelli. We're doing a lovely duet together. So I won't spoil what that is, but that will be coming out in September. I'm also working with an American baritone called Josh Henn, and he's got a superb voice. We are doing a collaboration together. So that's going to be a remote collaboration again to the States. So yeah, so there's some lovely collaborations on the sort of horizon coming up.
Can you tell me about your current single, I Am What I Am? What's that all about?
Well, that's about celebrating life really and diversity. I wanted it to be fun. That came about. I don't know if you've seen the advert on television for Virgin Atlantic. I didn't steal their idea, but they used that song as their accompanying track. And I was reminded of it, and I thought, gosh, this is a really wonderful anthem, really. And I love, obviously, I love the classic shows. Obviously, it was from Le Cage aux Folles and originally, and then obviously Shirley Bassey covered it. It became such a big anthem. And I thought I'd like to do my own spin on this. And I really like to tell stories and create a kind of storyboard around a song that I am, if I'm covering something, I prefer it to have a story that goes with it. And it just, I think the video actually Michael Jackson did with Black and White inspired me with this video because he used different faces at the end of his videos singing his words. So I wanted to do the same, but show a diverse group of of people really doing that. Ah, there we are. There's my little cameo friend. um, and then on the flip side, I wanted to also tell a little story with it, and it was sort of where we filmed it. If you've seen the video on YouTube, in this lovely old theatre in Wales, in South Wales. The idea was that a performer is going into the space and, really would like to be in, in this space on the stage. And then all of a sudden it comes to life and you see the lights come on and there's dancing and then there's fun. And, that's why we had the children in it as well. And they're actually students of mine. So the people that were featured in the video are friends of mine. So that was lovely, and it was just to celebrate diversity. And that's why I use the tagline at the end to anyone who dares to be themselves, just for people really, and just for joy. That's what I wanted to create from it.
Um, have you got any gigs or concerts coming up in the near future?
Yes, so I am doing a little theatre tour of well, it's Victorian theatre, and it's with a touring theatre company called the Bold Balladeers, and we're going around the north of England. We sort of go around York, and then Leeds and Sunderland and Durham. We sort of do a little tour around there. That's coming up at the end of this month. I also set up an opera company last year called Opera Synergy, and we are going to be putting on a production of La Boheme in Cardiff in July. So that's really exciting. So I shall be singing the role of Mazetta in that opera. And then I've got a concert coming up at the very beginning of July as well, a recital. So yeah, so I'm quite busy. There's quite a few things, but there's a lot of obviously recordings and things I'm doing as well. I've got an EP that I producing that I want to bring out in the summer, and then obviously these collaborations as well. So lots of things keeping me busy at the moment.
That's good. Can you tell my listeners where can they find you on social media?
Sure. So I have a Facebook account, and then I also am on Instagram, and that's at Hollie-Anne Clark. So my name is IE, Hollie IE, Anne with an E, and Clark without. Everyone always asks, so it's helpful just to let everybody know now. So please do follow me on there, and then you can find my website is hollieanneclark.com. I'm also on TikTok. That's a fairly new thing, so TikTok is the way forward as well. So I think I'm on there as Hollie-Anne Sings. You can find me on TikTok too.
Good. I'm going to play your current single, I Am What I Am, on Johnston Sound. Thank you for chatting to me this evening.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I wish you the best of luck for your singing career.
Thank you.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.